everybody, welcome to another Easy English video, and today we are going to have a conversation about having conversations. Nah, not really. Today we're going to talk about excuses. The most common excuse when you're learning a language is that you don't have a person, you don't have anybody to practice with. And that's a really common expression. Whenever I ask my students what the problem is, they always tell me they don't have anyone to practice with. And it is understandable. We are in Mexico. I mean, our environment is not in English. Consequently, it might be a little bit tough for us to practice a language such as English or French or Italian or something like that. My recommendation as usual is that you start checking dictionaries. You need a dictionary no matter what. They are really useful. Whenever you have a dictionary, you can check the pronunciation. Of course, it is not going to be easy at the beginning. However, if you practice over and over again, you will see the results. Other problem is that everybody gets into a panic when they are learning a new language. I mean, we are afraid of expressing ourselves since somebody might laugh at us or correct us, which is really good. When somebody corrects you, appreciate it. Sometimes people think they are correct, they are accurate. Some other times that's not true. However, you gotta think when the person tells you correct form. I know what panic is. Nowadays I'm trying to learn French, I'm trying to learn Italian, and it's quite tough when somebody tells me, come on, that's not the correct pronunciation, or French is not like that, or your accent is not really good. Of course it is not really good. I don't have a teacher. I'm not going to any school. I'm doing it by myself, and I hope it gets better. You know, it gets better with time. The matter is just practicing and practicing. Remember, practice makes masters. So when somebody tells you your English sucks, your English is horrible, or your accent is bad, listen to that comment and continue with your job. Just to give you some examples, I don't speak French, I don't speak Italian. However, I have a project. My project is called Polyglot Project, which means that I'm trying to speak Spanish and English and French and Italian at the same time. The secret, as usual, is to memorize lots of phrases. The more phrases you have, the better level or the more level you're going to get. That's the idea. For instance, in this case, in French, well, let's speak Spanish. My native language is Spanish. So for instance, in this case, when you want to say in Spanish, ¿por qué? You say, ¿por qué? ¿Por qué? In English, you say, why? Why? Spanish, ¿por qué? English, why? In French would be pourquoi? 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 That's the idea. In Italian, for instance, would be perché? 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 And that's what you have to do. Whenever you are practicing a language, believe it. Believe in yourselves. Got it? It might not be correct. However, you have to believe in yourself. Sometimes it's not correct. However, with practice, lots of practice, and phonetic symbols in your dictionary, that is going to be better soon. Got it? So for instance, in this case, remember, ¿por qué? Why? Pourquoi? Perché? That's the idea. Other word, for instance, in this case, in Spanish, would be difícil. Difícil. Or in Spanish from Spain, difícil. Difícil. It's Spanish from Spain and Spanish from Latin America. In Latin America, we say difícil. In Europe, they say difícil. Difícil. However, in English, you say difficult. 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 In French, you say difficile, difficile, c'est difficile, c'est difficile. It's difficult, es difícil. In Italian would be difficile, difficile, difficile. You see? And some of you might speak Italian. You say, come on, man, your Italian is not that good. Of course, it is not that good. In the future, it will be better than yours. Believe it. Other example in here, so as to exemplify. Let me check. This is part of my project. These are my cards. I have my cards. Well, this is very simple. You know this. In Spanish, we say gracias, 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 or gracias. In English, you say, of course, thank you, thank you, thank you. And in French, you say merci, merci, merci. Classical, merci beaucoup, thank you very much. And in Italian, you say grazie, grazie, grazie. Now, that's something you have to do. Whenever you are speaking a language, try to imitate the movements and the accent. It is not like with your Mexican accent you're going to speak Italian. You say, for instance, in here, grazie, not at all, right? Not in Mexican, tacky Mexican, not really. You have to imitate the movements, you have to imitate the intonation, just like an Italian would speak. Got it? The same when you're speaking English, they usually don't say computer, they say computer, computer. In England, they say computer, 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 and something like that. Just one more example in here. For instance, in this case, in Spanish, we say por supuesto, por supuesto, por supuesto. In English, you say of course, of course, of course, of course. In French, you say bien sûr, bien sûr, bien sûr. Got it? In Italian, you say certo, certo, certo. Got it? That's what you have to do. So this is just an example of what you can do. Of course, remember, I am not taking classes. Well, I'm not going to a school. I don't have a teacher. I don't have a French teacher. I don't have an Italian teacher. I use the internet. Sometimes I use YouTube. Sometimes I use my dictionaries. I have an Italian dictionary, a French dictionary, an English dictionary. That's what I do. Whenever I have a practice, the phrase, I practice the phrase over and over again in that way, in such a way that when somebody speaks to me, I am able to understand what they are trying to tell me, what they are trying to communicate. So just remember that, get that motivation. It is not going to be easy. It is not going to be easy, believe me. However, if you practice over and over again and you believe in yourselves, other people is going to believe you. You can speak another language such as English. English is really easy. I say that due to the fact that I speak English. French is a little bit harder because of the writing part. It might be the pronunciation, not too difficult. It is pretty similar to Spanish. Italian is pretty similar to Spanish too. So just remember my recommendation, believe in yourselves, got it? And practice. And for instance, I am always correcting my students. Sometimes I laugh, it's like, ha. However, the really defining part, my different part is that I laugh. However, I try to correct them. I say, okay, that's not good, man. This is the correct way. This is the correct pronunciation. This is the correct use. That makes a difference, you know. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people and they are only going to laugh at you without correcting you. Just like, okay, thank you very much for your comment, and carry on with your life. Don't get demotivated. Got it? I'm trying to do these kind of videos so that you can learn. So if you have any topic, any idea, or something you want to learn about English, not French, not Italian at the moment, English, let me know. Visit my website, which is inglesfacil.tk, and share these videos, share the information, and remember, practice makes masters. Sayonara.